Hello everyone, Emp here, bringing you another RenPy tutorial. Today I'm going to talk about the console, and the console is one of the developer tools that you can use to help you figure out what's going on in your code when it gets really complicated and something is wrong and you're not quite sure what, but you'd like some more information than what you can just tell by what's going on the screen. So I'm going to use an example mocked up by Lezalith, who is my partner in working on the RPG Quickstart framework, which is going to be a highly customizable framework for making RPGs in RenPy. And he has rigged up a nice little map demonstration. So this has some information on it, like my coordinate and my position and stuff like that. So if I do that, I press the down key to move, and then I'm going to press the right key. And then now I'm going to use O, and O is what we have bound to an interaction at the moment. I mean, we're going to make it customizable so you can bind it to whatever you want, but this is what we got at the moment. And then so I'm going to press the O key, and it's got me making a little message, and this is just placeholder stuff, don't worry about it. And then we go back to the map, exactly where we were before. So then I was able to interact from this tile, this little Minecraft tile, to my character tile on here. Cool, right? So then let's talk about the console. Let's say for some reason I'm going over here and I'm like, hey, I'm going to press the O key. Why is this not working? And the reason, if we had more than a placeholder sprite of why this is not working, is that you're not facing the tile, and you have to be facing the tile in order for that to work. But maybe you don't know because you have a thing that doesn't rotate yet because we're using a placeholder. So you can do Shift plus O to enter the RenPy console. And in order to enter the RenPy console, let me see if I can clear that. Yeah, okay, there we go. So you can escape to get out of this at any time. And this is a command line style console. It's very similar to Python's idle. If you're not familiar with that, there are some neat things you can do. So like you can do some math inline and it'll just give you the result. You can also check the value of your variables as they are right now without you having to display them on the screen. So I'm gonna say, let's see, player character is the name of my little Minecraft dirt grass thingy. So I'm gonna do just player character. And so that gives me the reference to the object of the player character. And that's not really that useful unless you have linked up a thing that will stringify that for you to make it look pretty when it prints it out. We have not, and most of the time you will not, and therefore it's not going to be that useful. But now that we have the object, we can drill down into what it holds on to. So I'm going to say player character dot chords because it has, oops, I should try to spell that right because okay, so look, I typoed. So now we have an error because play character doesn't exist. It was player character. You saw it work right above there. The nice thing about the console is that if you create an error in here, you can go back. Just escape. I mean, you don't even have to escape. You can keep typing stuff in the console and it will still work. But the important point here is that having an error caused in the console does not crash your game. So you can, you know, just experiment with stuff without having to worry about really screwing everything up. So let's go back to the console, Shift O, and I'm going to say player character dot chords, and there we go. And it's another object. Okay, well, okay. So let's go down one level deeper. Chords.x pause. So that's the name. That's for our x position. And it's 4 at the moment. Okay, let's escape. Hey, look, it says my x chord is 4. Looks like it's working. Let's, oops, nope, not that. Shift O. Let's go back there. Let's say, So let's also, you can use this console to to call functions. So I'm going to say player character.chords.x to pix, which is a method we made on that class. And we're going to just call it with the parentheses, just like you would normally call a function. And it's going to give me the result right there in the console. Now, if you have something that does a side effect rather than returning something, so let's say, for instance, that you have a function that you would like to test or get some more information about, and it doesn't actually return anything, but it does something. So if you have something that doesn't return anything, it'll end up giving you none, and you might freak out and say, oh my god, it's not working. But don't worry. If it doesn't actually have an explicit return value, it's always going to return none. That's just how it works. That's how the language works. So don't worry about that. But any modifications you make will actually happen, so that you can go by and check how things have changed when you call certain things. Now, I was debugging something with Miko the other day, and we were trying to find out why something was not happening when it was supposed to be happening. And so what we did was we tried it at various points in the chain of user interaction to the actual action happening to see where the chain was broken. So we tried saying, okay, so let's do the action itself, see if that works. So we tried doing the action itself and it worked. And we were like, okay, that's good. Now we know that it's right, that part is right. So then we backed it up a step. Does the thing that calls the action work? Yes, it does. So, okay, that's fine. Let's back it up another step. So until you can keep doing this kind of thing and pinpoint exactly where the issue is. This is one of the big benefits of the console. So I'm going to give an example right here, and this does have a side effect, and it does have it'll be immediately obvious because it's jumping to a label. So, you know, there's that. But so emp_tile, that's the thing with my face on it. I'll show you. It's a map tile object. emp_tile.onAction, which is this is a function we've got for that. And you see it'll bring you to that exact same label that I had before. So I can use this to test and see, you know, if I was like, hey, why is my interaction not happening when I press the O key? Because it's supposed to be, I thought. And I can test this and say, okay, look, the on action part is working. So for some reason, that on action thing is not getting called. So now I have narrowed down, I have split into the area of code where I have to search for the problem. So I hope you can see just how useful that can be. In the remaining amount of time, I'm going to shill a little bit more about the RPG Quickstart. I'd like to show off some of this movement that Les has done. It's really spectacular. He's also got the moving map system. So this is a door right here that I'm about to go onto in the right. And that automatically transitions you to a new area. And this is an NPC thing that has something called a route, which is basically it has its own movement pattern that it's going to keep doing it over and over again. And these are going to be, you know, as complicated as you want and stuff like that. It's just, you know, all sorts of really good, smooth overworld movement going on. Really good stuff. And so, of course, I can go back over here, and you know that's it. I'm spearheading the battle stuff, but we don't yet have a front end for that, so I can't really show anything off yet. I'll probably make another video later showing that off. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.